You had a relative call in, and then when you wrote me that email, I remembered. All right, let's get started. We're going to be covering the AI Auto and the iBots. And these are fully automated strategies that run within the NinjaTrader 8 platform. Once they're enabled, they will execute and manage the trades for you. Before we get too far into it, I just want to get the CFTC out of the way. This broadcast is just for demonstration and educational purposes only. If you're not familiar with the risks associated with trading, please consult with a licensed financial advisor. I am not one of them. I think one of the main characteristics that distinguish us from our competitors is our transparency. We trade these bots every morning on YouTube Live in front of the whole wide world. And I'm going to put a link in the chat box because I want to invite everybody here to come join us tomorrow morning live. God willing, we'll be going live at 9:15. We like to just take a look and see what the market has done overnight. If there's any news reports coming out during the session that we'll be trading in, we'll take a look at the Forex Factory. And then when the bell rings, we will be ready to rock and roll. All right, I'm going to put the link in the chat box. Let me find it real quick. Here it is. This is for YouTube. Live stream at 9:15. Even if you lose this link, all you really have to do is go to our YouTube channel at Right Line Trading. It's Right Line Trading. And in the live tab on our channel, this is our channel here. On the live tab, you'll see the upcoming live streams, and you'll see all of the recordings that date back for over a year now. So I really know that this is one of the main things that distinguishes us from our competitors. We kind of show you exactly what to expect before you dive in head first. We've all, regretted some of the decisions that we've made before buying other trading systems. And being transparent is very important, having the ability to see it before you buy it. Here at Right Line Trading, our mission is to provide our members with an edge. Do we have the Holy Grail? No, this is not the Holy Grail. But what it is a powerful tool that provides you with an edge when you're trading the financial markets. How do we do it? Well, we have indicators and trading system that are leveraging very powerful multi-time frame indicators, fractal indicators, that help predict the future direction of price. Man, that's valuable information. I always say it's kind of like knowing the winning lottery numbers before the drawing. If you knew with certainty which way the market was going to go, listen, you can make a mint. You'd be very wealthy. So it's not with absolute certainty, but we do provide our members with an edge. We've been around for 14 years now. And really, I think we've all graduated here from the School of Hard Knocks. We've got our master's degree here from all of the mistakes that we've made. After 14 years, the optimization process, although it never ends, we've made some significant progress. And you could see from our YouTube channels over the last decade how our system has evolved. It has been an evolution. We've built a beautiful community of traders of all experience levels that all help and support one another in our Discord chat group, which is kind of like our family hub, our family of traders, where we all hang out and talk, communicate with one another. What's working, maybe more important, what's not working. I'd like to just take a moment to introduce my staff without putting you to sleep. We have 3 professional traders on the team. We have Mr. Craig Emery and David Kushner are our futures traders. We have an options trader extraordinaire. If anybody here trades options, you got to check out David Wise. On our website, go to the Options Live Trading Room, jump in. It's a 2-week free trial. This guy's the best there is out there. And I'm not just saying it because I work with him. I say it because I've been in this industry for a long time, and he's the real deal. I was just up in South Carolina visiting him. He's calm, cool. He does not make any decisions based on emotion. He has etched in stone rules when he defines risk being at its lowest, and that's when he pulls the trigger. Kind of like a robot. Behind the desks here at Right Line Trading, look at these handsome characters. We've got Brock Miller. He's our college student. He's getting his degree in computer science. We have Mr. Sergio Luque Rodriguez. I like how that rolls off the tongue. Sergio Luque Rodriguez. He has a master's degree in computer science. And let me tell you something. He's a wizard. When it comes to the computer, there's little that he cannot do. He brings complex mathematical algorithms, mathematical modeling, and now AI integrations, and develops them right into NinjaTrader 8. He's a leader in this niche at programming artificial intelligence into Ninja. And then we have the team is led by the owner of Right Line Trading, Mr. Mark Miller. What a great guy Mark is, a real man of God. He has his MBA from Cal State. He's a U.S. Army vet. I happen to be very patriotic, and I respect anybody who puts others before self. It's very spiritual. Mark Miller is that guy. In the U.S. Navy, he was a sniper. And he brings those core military values to everything that we do here at Right Line Trading: honesty, integrity, transparency, and good old-fashioned hard work. This team really goes to bat for Mark because we love him, and we work extra hard to make this to bring forward valuable products. I put together a collage of the holiday season. I don't want to put you to sleep, but it was a very special holiday season this year. Mark Miller got married, beautiful bride, Nidia. They had a beautiful small reception, very intimate, at a hotel down right on the beach in Miami Beach. And this is old Sergio and his wife and myself, and Mark and his new bride, but over at the wedding. I also went over the holidays for Thanksgiving and visited David. He's, kind of like my mentor. I respect him so much, and I've seen him just do the impossible. I just have so much respect for him and admiration of the numbers that he puts up consistently, that I had to come and meet him. So my family was in South Carolina. We stopped by. I had to give him a trophy for being the greatest options trader I've ever seen. And I'm not kidding you. I'm sure he would have rather had a check, but I could only afford to bring him a trophy. Let me go back for just a second. God has blessed me with really my passion, other than trading the financial markets, is saltwater fishing. You see, I have a couple of pictures of saltwater fishing, and every fisherman has a fish story, right? The big one that got away. Well, my fish story is the big one that didn't get away. My beautiful wife. Her name is Christelle. She just got a master's degree. She's a nurse educator. She's an RN. And God bless us with these two beautiful girls that will be 7 and 3 in just a month or two. This was a picture during Christmas this year. So enough about me. Let's keep going. The genesis of these automated strategies is our lack of consistency as traders. I like to refer to it as just stepping on banana peels or making emotional decisions. Anyway, whatever you want to call it, if a picture could say 1,000 words, this nice, educated, conservative woman, and I say that from her appearance, I love this slide because I know exactly how she feels in it. You see, what's happened here is she's watched her trading account slowly dwindle down to almost nothing. And she's at the boiling point. She's seething. She's bursting at the seams. She's resorted to the sledgehammer. She's ready to smash her monitors to smithereens because she's absolutely convinced at this point that it's got to be a conspiracy between the market maker, the broker, the prop firm, who knows who's involved, but it's got to be a fix and a setup because whatever she does, they come and they get her stop, and it is driving her absolutely crazy. And let me tell you something, I know exactly how that nice woman feels. I answer the phones here at Right Line Trading. I've been answering them for going on my 12th year now. And I've talked to a number of traders in the years I've been here. And let me tell you something, we all share this in common. There's very few of us that are like David Wise, that have, ice water running through our veins, that, don't let emotions get the best of us at times. I was in a investor summit and I was watching one of the presenters there. Let me give him his props. His name is Chris Vermeulen, an extremely intelligent guy. Anyway, Chris had done a study on human personality traits and whether or not they lend well to being a good disciplined trader. His premise, if you watch this, I don't want to, go down a rabbit hole, but he was talking about how people hold on to losing. They'll hold on to positions in a sector that, it's going down the tubes, and they won't abandon it. They won't jump off a sinking ship. They'll just stay on it because they think, that it's gonna turn around and go their way. They don't, take the signals on the technicals. So anyway, he did this study, to make a long story short, and what he found was that we as humans share about 10 core personality traits. Only one or possibly two lend well to making good, sound decisions that are not based on emotions. So the vast majority of us are like myself. We struggle with, the way I do it, for example, is it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction. I can't help myself from squeezing my stop. Man, I see a trade go up. I look at the P&L and I'm up $200-300, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, that, I got $200 or $300 on this trade. I don't want to give it back. And I immediately want to bring my stop up to prevent it from coming back on me, only to get nicked out and watch it go a country mile in the direction that I was in the trade. And I just didn't give the trade room to breathe. You see, the market has an ebb and flow. I'm an ocean guy. I live down in South Florida. And I think of the ocean having tides, high tide and low tide. And the waves, the way they roll in, is kind of like the way the market moves. So with an ebb and a flow, it doesn't just go in one direction. Unfortunately, it would be much easier. But we'll make retracements back to the 50 as it gets overbought or oversold, and then continue into the trend. So anyway, these emotional decisions that we make are due to the genetics that we've been handed down in our personality traits through genetics. So you're not alone if you suffer from these issues, emotional issues, they call them. Sure, we may have all bought indicators that lack price or lack a proven trading methodology, but it all leads to the same place of blowing out our trading accounts. You see, we've narrowed it down to two things that we believe will create trading success. And I kind of flipped them upside down. Number one, if you're like me and you've blown out a number of trading accounts, you really struggle with consistency, that you may string together a good week or two. You have moments of glory, and you think that you've turned the corner. I can't tell you how many corners that I've thought that I've turned and finally found my way, only to blow another trading account. Well, sooner or later, I had to wave the white flag of surrender and look for another option, another solution. So ideally, if you're like me, We need software that can automatically get us in and get us out. And not just any software. Number one is we have to have the proper tool set. It can't just be any bot, is what we've learned over the years. We've developed, many strategies here. When we first started developing them, and I talked to so many traders that share in this sentiment, is what happens with these bots, and it's the elephant in the room when you talk about bots, is their lack of consistency. They may do well in one certain trading environment, but they'll go stale once the trading environment changes. Or they're optimized, and the inputs sooner or later will go stale because the market is ever changing, just like the sea, like the tides. It's never the same from day to day in to day out. It's ever changing. What's changing it? What drives the market is really the economic news reports, maybe geopolitical unrest. These incidents that happen also cause the market to move. And we watch it every day. We see our Forex Factory calendar. When the CPI report came out today, there was a tremendous reaction. When the earnings reports come out and there's a beat or a miss, man, you see the whole sector, the whole Nasdaq. When Nvidia reports, it affects the entire index. So that's the market movement that is ever changing from day in and day out. So we need a bot or an automated system that can dynamically change its own inputs. And that's what we're going to be discussing here today, how we're leveraging artificial intelligence into our bots so they self-optimize, right? So they move their own parameters based on market conditions. The bots that I'm going to be showing you today will adjust the placement of their stop and their profit target based on the average true range of the market. If you're a prop trader, stick around. I like to refer to these bots as prop trading on steroids. With the use of a trade copier, it gets extremely exciting. It gives us the ability to scale. We could trade 3 accounts, 5 accounts, 10 accounts simultaneously with these bots that have the potential to 10x our profits. However, it is a double-edged sword. It will 10x our losses as well. So it can work for us and it can also work against us. But if you're a prop trader, stick around. We've got prop trading templates that we have customized that will automatically conform to the rules that these prop firms mandate that we follow, and they'll automatically shut off when we reach our profit goal or our loss limit. So we're talking about two systems, and I don't want to be overly confusing. So what I'm going to do is tell you the main difference between these two systems, okay? The main difference is going to be the trigger. We've integrated a lot of the components of the AI auto trader into the iBots. So a lot of these bullets that you see here on my slide, number 1, 2, and 3, are also have been integrated into the iBot. So the main difference is going to be the trigger. The AI auto trader is looking at relative strength. It's looking at pullback and go. It's looking at reversals. It's looking at the RSI line, the Laguerre oscillator, and different percentage points. It's looking at this white line, and it's taking triggers based on the pullbacks and different lengths for different market conditions, which is kind of a proxy to the market internals. The market internals. What do I mean by market internals? The market internals, these bots require, the iBots require a connection with Kinetic. Kinetic is a professional grade data feed that streams the market internals from the stock market. And what it's looking for are imbalances between advancing and declining volume. It's looking also at the advancing and declining ratios across the indexes, the Dow, NASDAQ, S&P 500, the Russell, and the New York Stock Exchange. And what it does is that when there's an overabundance or an imbalance of buyers versus sellers, well, it's going to instantaneously jump in the direction of institutional money. Okay, institutional money. It's kind of become a catchphrase is, yeah, we like to trade in the direction of institutional money. Well, how do you do it? How do we do it? Well, one way, and I think is the most effective way, is to look at those market internals, those indexes right off of the stock market, the cash market. That's going to tell you if there's an imbalance between buyers and sellers. When there is a large imbalance, that's not retail traders that are creating it. Those are large institutions, hedge funds that are moving the market. So that is the key difference between the AI auto trader and the iBots. You see, to truly predict the future direction of price, we really need to go beyond lagging indicators like MACD crossovers or oscillator divergence signals. These are indicators that only reflect what has already happened on our trading charts. Instead, we're focusing on real-time market internals, which is like having the DNA of the market, having your finger right on the pulse of knowing where price is being driven. And it's a lightning fast trigger that we have on these iBots. Very exciting to watch these bots trade. What this is showing is the imbalance of advancing or declining ratios or volume. Parity is about even, where we're just going to be in chop. When you have an overabundance of advancing volume, the market's going to be driven up. The price is going to go higher. And vice versa when there's an imbalance of declining volume. And that's what the market internals is looking at. Now, I always like to show what's under the hood. This is not a black box system, and I'm going to be showing a video of the bots in action in just a moment. But I always like to show what's under the hood of these bots. So let's open up the power play real quick. And I'm going to show you the ways that these bots are leveraging artificial intelligence very briefly, very briefly. Our drones, the way this AI model works is it's looking at 3 or 4 different ways to self-optimize. Our mandate as developers of automated strategies is not necessarily to get you into every winning trade. Our mandate, what becomes even more important than getting into winners, is sidestepping losers. That's what kills us. That's what kills us as traders, the losers, right? If we can eliminate the losers, oh man, we've got most of the battle won. So how do you do it? How do you do it? Well, there's a number of different ways that this system will do it, and I'm gonna just define those so you understand how it works. Each one of the bots, excuse me for one moment. Each bot runs in each one of our bots. We have a beautiful diversity of strategies. We call our portfolio of bots. They run on different instruments and they run on different time frames. Okay. Each one of our bots runs in tandem with another bot that we just call a drone so we can distinguish the two. It's really just another bot. The bot and the drone they work as a team. So let's say the power play bot and the power play drone are trading together as a team, okay? And they're sharing a database. This is how it works. The drone is going to trade 23 hours a day throughout the entire trading session. We call it a drone because that's kind of what it is. It's kind of hovering out there in the atmosphere of the market, and it's getting a bird's eye view of the overall market condition. It's looking at the average true range. It's looking at the best position to put our stop and our profit targets. NinjaTrader has a really powerful trade performance metric, and it looks at the maximum adverse excursion versus the maximum favorable excursion, MAE versus MFE. And it's a pretty complex mathematical equation as to where would be the best position to put your stop and your profit target based on the average true range of the market. This is what AI thrives on. These complex mathematical formulas that would take you and I a year to figure out, this system can do it in seconds, and it will instantly position the bot. It will dynamically change the position of the stop and profit targets based on the average true range of the market. Another thing that it does is it looks at the trading hours. Remember, I told you the drone trades 23 hours. There's certain times of the day that it gets crushed, right? It's not going to be profitable the entire session. There's certain times of the day in the London session, the Asian session, and the New York Stock Exchange that it's just going to thrive. It's going to do better. When there's higher volume, better volatility, when institutional traders are more involved in the trading environment, those are the times of the day that there's going to be more consistent profits. So what is the bot going to do? It's going to share the database with the drone and not only adjust the stop and profit targets, but it's only going to trade during the times of the day that historically it's consistently profitable. So it's going to not trade at all during the times that the drone just gets crushed during that 23-hour period. Last but certainly not least, the AI Auto has 4 different triggers. And we did this for a reason, because of the ebb and flow of the market. Certain trading environments lend well to each one of our entry signals, just depending on how the market is moving. The degree of a pullback or getting to the 50 determines whether it's an A, B, C, or D entry. Okay, it's just goes by percentages. So what this system will do is it will learn. It has a machine learning algorithm that will learn in which environment which trigger works the best. Okay, and so it's going to tell your bot, hey, the last thing in our AI model is the signal. What that means is, should I trade the A, B, C, or D entry in this trading environment we're currently in? So if a B entry comes and it's not doing well, if historically it doesn't do well in the type of trading environment we're in, it won't take those signals. It will only take the ones that it's consistently profitable taking. All right. With the iBots, the iBots has one trigger. It doesn't have A, B, C, and D. The iBots has one trigger. I'll show it to you. And that's the market internals trigger. It's the MI trigger. It still leverages, it still uses the bot drone technology. It still self-adjusts and dynamically manages its own inputs. But the nice part about it is this one has only one trigger. And that's that lightning fast trigger with that kinetic data feed. You can also use IQ, either IQ or kinetic, and that will stream those market internals. Now, what we also learned, and one last thing before I move on, is the charts are very symmetrical. There's reoccurring candlestick patterns that occur throughout the trading session, day in and day out. throughout the entire day. This machine learning algorithm will also learn certain and recognize certain candlestick patterns. One of them that we're using actively is the engulfing. For example, if we're in a long trade and we have an ambitious profit target and we're up 30, 40, 50 ticks on a long move, and all of a sudden we get a big, ugly, bearish engulfing candle, this system will recognize that and instantly close the trade because in the past it's reversed, and those bearish engulfing candles will a lot of the times equate into a reversal. So it will exit the trade and preserve any capital that you had in profits, and most importantly, it'll prevent a full loser. All right. So what we learned, that's the fourth way. What we learned, just as important as the triggers that get us into the trades, and now I'm setting up the video I'm about to show you, is the way that we manage these positions. Listen, our risk to reward ratio is so important as futures traders. How many times, if you're a futures trader, how many times, and I love traders, you know, if I mentioned it before, you know, I've answered the phones here. This is my 12th year now. And the thing that I love about traders, and I want to say this before I forget, is traders are fighters, okay? Against all odds, you know, and, I always think of David versus Goliath in the Bible. You know, here this guy comes, you know, a 13-year-old kid, you know, full of faith that he's going to slay this giant, comes out with his slingshot, you know, the sheep herder, and just knocks this giant out, you know, and it's just, you know, what a story of faith. Listen, that's us as traders. We're fighters. In the face of adversity, you know, it's like a Timex watch. We could take a licking, but we keep on ticking. We're very determined and resilient and steadfast. Uh, we are as traders. So how many times, you know, have we taken a trade or two and we hit a couple of winners in a row and we start confidence, just bam, we're feeling very confident and we could do no wrong. And our P&L is green and we feel great, only to take the next trade and have it erase those two winners that we just worked so hard for. Our blood, sweat, and tears was wasted. We pulled in 2 or 3 winners to have one loser eliminated. So listen, just as important are the triggers that get us into these trades are how we're managing these positions. I want to go back really quick to the trade management parameters, because trade management is so important. And the video I'm going to show you is going to illustrate how we do this. Let me show you the drone. The bot changed the position of, well, you know what? I'll show you the bot because it changed positions. Just so you know, it's a perfect example how this works. What the bot did was it moved in the profit target and it moved out the stop a little. My drone is running a 60 tick stop and a 100 tick profit target. So what it's doing is it moved my profit target to 56. My profit window is 25, meaning when I'm 25 ticks away from 56, or I'm plus 31, my stop will jump up and come 25 ticks behind price. That's what we call our profit target window. Then we have what we call our leapfrog. And the leapfrog, once my profit window triggers, which would be 25 ticks from my profit target, my stop will jump up and it will take all of the risk off of the trade at that point. And now we're in the position in what we call our leapfrog situation, where the stop and the profit target will both leap together to lock in, give you the potential for a home run on every trade. So in this trade that I'm going to show you in this video, this shows you, I just so happened to get into both of these trades simultaneously. This was on YouTube. I'm using a copier and trading 3 accounts, and I get into a short trade on my 30 range. You can see my initial stop is at 60 ticks. My profit target is at 100. When I push play, and the same thing on my 20 Unorenco, you see my stop is back here, my profit target is here. Now, as this trade matures, you're going to see first the stop come down and get into my profit window, and it's going to take all of the risk off of the trade. And then as the trade matures, it's going to start doing what we call the leapfrog. And that leapfrog is what gives you the potential for a home run on every trade. So as this trade matures and starts moving down towards my profit target, all risk is off at this point on my power play. And now as it gets closer to my profit goal, and you'll see my stop just did it on the 20U, and now this thing matures, and you'll see what happens. This is what we call the leapfrog. Take a look at my stop and my profit target on my chart. And I brought over my trade copier. And as this trade matures, now this is completely hands-free. Completely hands-free. It's important to know that not every trade is going to run like this, okay? However, if we get 1 or 2 a week, which I think is very conservative to say that we'll get 1 or 2 a week, the difference that it makes in our equity curve over the course of the week and then the month and then the year, it's astronomical. Having these runners takes our risk to reward ratio and leans it heavily in our favor. And that's the difference between being a profitable trader and being a break-even or a losing trader, is the way that we manage these trades. And that's my biggest weakness. Because I love to squeeze my stop, I don't give the trade the room to mature like that. And listen, that's what kills us. That's what kills us as traders. So just to reiterate, we have the candlestick pattern recognition. These are the ways that we've already discussed, and I'm not going to waste your time and go over them again. The bot and drone, the bot will only run during the hours of the trading system that the drone is profitable. If the drone is profitable between 8 and 11, and then after that it's hit or miss, well, the bot's not going to go if it's hit or miss. The bot's only going to go when it's all green. It's not going to go during times when it's hit or miss. And then it comes back in again for this big green bar towards the end of the trading session. So that's one of the other ways that we're filtering out a large number of our losing trades. We've got a very powerful ChatGPT integration. We call it our trading analyst. We can very quickly export. Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate that. We can very quickly export in my trade management. My screen might flash, but let me show you what I'm talking about. If I take my trade performance right out of NinjaTrader, and I put it on trades, what I could do, this was the RJ Star Drone. I could select all my accounts, right click, and export this data. Okay, this is all the historical trade performance for this year, for January 1st to the 13th today. And we would export that. Okay, let me put it back on the RJ because I'm going to show you the RJ's been crushing it. Put it back on the summary. So after I've exported that, I would put it into what we call our ChatGPT. And before we started, I put it in here. And what it gives you are the top performing bots for the year. my RJ drone, this is the data that we exported, the January 1st to the 13th, right out of the NinjaTrader 8 control center. And the reason we do this, okay, let me slow down for a second. We have a beautiful diversified portfolio of bots, but how do we decide? This is the most common question that we get. Rory, how do I know which one to trade on my live account or on my prop account? Well, the way we decide is we let the decisions be dictated by the by the performance, by the data. We're not going to choose the bot that does the absolute worst. That would be crazy. We're going to choose the bot that gives us the most consistent results. And that's the ones we're going to trade on our live or funded accounts. Okay. So this is telling us that the RJ from January 1st to the 13th made $8,280. And that was trading just one contract. I always say, listen, don't take it for granted because it's ChatGPT that it's true. Pull up your trade performance and check it. Okay, make sure. And I always do that. Sometimes AI does what they call hallucination, and it gives you information that just is totally out of the, totally wrong, bogus. But this happens to be accurate information. You could see my RJ was up $8,200 this year, in January, this month, excuse me, from January 1st to the 13th. This bot is hitting it out of the park. Just to give it a little more history, let's go back to December 1st on this same bot. December 1st to today. 13,876. Let's take it back another month to November. November 1st to January 13th. $17,840. So when we crank up our system and we see the RJ on our leaderboard in today's session, because we have what we call a leaderboard, we let the bots run overnight, and when we're getting ready to trade, we have a leaderboard. Now I know if I see that RJ on my leaderboard, I know, hey, this is one of my most powerful, consistent bots. And I'm looking to trade it on my live or funded account because the data supports it. All right. So that's how we're leveraging ChatGPT in another way with these automated bots. The trade analyst does require a subscription with ChatGPT. I think it's like $20 a month. Well, listen, I could talk until I'm blue in the face about these bots and how great they work, but really the numbers are all that matters, right? The most important thing is the performance. Most vendors would be absolutely thrilled if they had one bot that did well. We have the luxury here of having several bots that have the potential to put you in the winner's circle every day. I call it the promised land. Our daily profit goal, we have to have our daily profit goal. I call that my promised land. I want it to deliver me to the promised land. I need to pick the bot each day to deliver me to my profit goal. And I need to reach it before I hit my loss limit, right? And these are the bots that have the most likelihood of getting us to that winner's circle. November 1st to December 12th, the iBot NQ20 Unorenko was up just under $7,000. That's after commissions. The iBot 16U is from November 1st to December 12th was up over $9,000 after commissions. The iBot 24U, November 1st to January 13th today, was up $7,800 after commissions, $7,800. So if you see one thing in common there is those were all large Unorenko bars that do not get caught in the whipsaw that the NASDAQ is famous for. Oh my goodness, my kids are going having a ball in the background. I'm sorry if you could hear that. So let's take a look at the AI bots. The AI bots from September 1st to December 13th, this is the ES30 star. Is September 1st to December 13th up $15,000. Okay, 15 grand on the ES30. On the moneymaker, this is a variation of the ES star. Another bot that's running on the ES is this moneymaker was up 22,000 from July 27th to December 13th. We have a member named Robert who traded this bot. He's actually the one who gave us the inputs to this strategy. He was up over 60, I kid you not, he was up over $60,000 over the course of 7 months trading this ES star bot on the 30 range. Very briefly, just to give you a little bit of a backstory, let me see if I can find his equity curve. He's actually a professional in this niche. His name is Robert. And his passion is trading these automated bots. He's probably bought a dozen of them from different vendors in this niche. And he's an expert at the optimization of these strategies. He loves to go in the inputs. He uses the strategy analyzer and the back tester, and he comes up with the inputs that optimizes them for the current market condition. This is his equity curve that he shared with me. I kid you not. This is from Robert. And he actually told his friends and relatives that came aboard as well. He told me, he said, Rory, he said, listen, you guys have something very special here. Let me tell you why I say that. He said, I've bought bots from 6 different vendors, and it's my full-time job. Some of them on a daily basis, some of them on a weekly basis. I have to keep optimizing and changing the inputs. Do you know in the 6 months, this is a 6-month equity curve. Do you know in the 6 months that I traded your bots, I never had, not once, had to optimize my own inputs. They did it themselves. They did them themselves. $60,000 he made on that ES30. Between July and December, this one's up 22,000. The ES30 drone, that's the star drone, 31,000, July 27th to December 13th. So we've got some really powerful bots. Over from January 15th in 2025 to December 30th, I was able to trade 3 accounts, these 3 PA Apex accounts, and garner over $45,000 in net profits over the course of the entire year. And that was trading the vast majority of these trades, not all of them, but the vast majority of them were on YouTube. And the vast majority were trading the power play. The power play was my favorite strategy. There was a time in the first 6 months of the year, I'm telling you, my equity curve went straight up like a rocket. I couldn't find a losing trade. Everybody in the YouTube streams, we were just crushing it. And then we kind of went flat for a while, but we never really gave it back. We kind of went flat, and it just took the equity curve wasn't as steep, but it gave us consistent results. So listen, you think of somebody that works at Right Line Trading as being a professional trader. For me, and God is my witness, David Wise is my witness, I can blow an account quicker than you know what. I step on more banana peels and landmines and make more emotional decisions. I can't get out of my own way. These bots brought me, really, they changed the trajectory of my entire trading career. And that's why we refer to this as prop trading on steroids. Prop trading on steroids. Part of the system that we're offering today, the special offer. Let me get a drink, excuse me. No, Sandy, David is in South Carolina. David's in South Carolina. Sorry, I just saw that. We took a trip up to South Carolina for Thanksgiving. Okay, so prop trading on steroids. We have bots that we've customized. You know, the really great thing about prop trading is that we don't risk our own capital, right? However, there are some negatives that I think it's only fair to mention. They've made something that's difficult, which trading is difficult. They made it even more difficult. Okay, they added some rules in that are really roadblocks to getting payouts. I call them roadblocks because listen, they're not in business to give you a payout. They're in business so you keep buying more accounts. Okay, well, that's their business model. Let's look at it objectively. So, in order for their business model to be profitable, they have to put some roadblocks, some speed bumps in our path, so not everybody can get payouts. They need more losers than they have winners, right? It only makes sense. With that being said, we've customized templates for prop trading that will automatically adhere to those stringent rules that they place on us with that trailing threshold. Listen, a perfect example of it is that leapfrog, where you can't have in prop trading unrealized gains. With that stop, the way it trails, it's not your standard trailing stop, that leapfrog. It's impossible to configure that the way Sergio did without doing it in code. But what it does is it prevents us from getting a large amount of unrealized gains because our stop is constantly coming down and trailing our price, our profits. We have our daily profit, we have our daily loss limit and our daily profit goal. That's so we don't blow our trading account. Listen, we have to have, what's worked. Let me explain. We don't have to, but what's worked well for me. Let me preface it different. Is having rules to adhere to. Okay, a trading plan. I know in my mind that once I reach a certain profit target, a number in my mind, which is just a couple of $100, I'm not greedy with this. If I'm up a couple of $100 across 3 accounts, I'm stopping for the day. That's it. That's all I'm looking to make. And I want to rinse and repeat it day after day after day. So at the end of the year, I have this beautiful equity curve. Now, sure, there's going to be days that I get into those runners that's going to keep my equity stream headed up. And it eliminates those losing days because my winning days will be larger than my losing days. But my point is that we've coded into the strategies a daily loss limit, a daily profit goal, and the way we manage these trades will prevent you from getting an extraordinary amount of unrealized gains. So via the use of a trade copier, this image shows Mark Miller, the owner of Right Line Trading, had a day a few weeks ago that he passed 24. Now you can only trade 20 accounts, but they actually passed 24 evaluations in one day. You can only trade 20 of them simultaneously. But he actually passed in one trading session. I kid you not. It's not the first time he's done it either. But he's traded 20 simultaneously. This day, after he passed all of his evals, he hit an $870 trade across about 10 or 15 of them to go up $7,500 in one day. I mean, that's the exciting part about being able to scale up with these bots. He's a lot more aggressive than I am and a lot funner to watch. He's had tremendous payouts, and not only him, but many of our members of our team and our community have been getting payouts through Apex. So the special offer that we're going to make today, and if I don't get to your question, please put your name and your number in the chat box, or if you just want to talk to me after the event, put your name and your number in the chat box. I assure you, nobody else can see it, and nobody's going to call you and disturb you. I assure you that. We'll call you once and respectively answer your questions, and that's it. Um, so what's included in this special offer? Now, I mentioned at the top that one of the characteristics that distinguishes us from our competitors is our transparency. Well, number two is our willingness to provide support. And our members that have known us for years can attest to this. And if you go to Trustpilot, you'll read dozens and hundreds of reviews that rave about our customer support. You see, when you decide to come aboard, we consider you part of our family, okay? Part of our trading family. We're not just going to install the system and wish you well and pat you on the back and never speak to you again, which is what a lot of number of other vendors do. No, that's the beginning of our relationship. If you need support, if things aren't going well, if you have a technical issue, we're going to drop what we're doing. We're going to get on your screen and we're going to answer your questions and fix any technical issue that you're having. And that goes for the lifetime of your membership, okay? That's what's important to us, is building that relationship with you, because we know the vast majority of our clients come from referrals. They come from referrals. We have a phenomenal affiliate program that we've just released that's going to give you an opportunity to really make some really nice money with affiliates. So we provide ongoing VIP support. We're going to include in the special offer our prop account bots. The one-day passes, those are the ones that will get you over the hump from from an evaluation to a funded account in one day. No muss, no fuss. About 33% of the trades will become winners statistically on those one-day pass templates. In today's special offer, normally this is a $1,699 add-on. If you come aboard today during this special offer, which runs through Friday, you're going to get the Bionic Best Bots. You're going to get the prop trading bots. The Bionic Best Bots, really quick, I'm just going to mention what they are briefly, is the Bionic Best Bots are the bots that are looking at your most powerful, and we have an NQ Best Bot and an ES Best Bot. The NQ Best Bot will only take the trades of your most profitable NASDAQ strategy. Your ES Best Bot will only take the trades of your most profitable ES strategy. So it takes all the guesswork out of which one should I trade. We're going to include that technology in today's special offer at no additional charge. The ChatGPT, that's our trade analyst that crunches the numbers, the bean counter. The iBot auto trading system, the regular price for this system, if you were to go to our website, the iBot trading system, we have a monthly, annual, or one-time payment or lifetime license memberships. The monthly membership, all three of these offers, I want you to know, come with the full Monty, okay? You're going to get the full portfolio regardless of which one you choose, the monthly, annual, or one-time payment. We're offering a 25% discount by using the coupon code that you see on my slide. This special is going to end on Friday at the 25% off. The monthly is normally $13.98. During this sale, you can get in on it for $10.49 a month. For the annual membership, a much better value, for 12 months, normally it's $39.92. If you use coupon code SAVE 25%, it'll bring that price down to $29.94 on the annual membership. And last but certainly not least is the lifetime license. If you're like me, you're one of these people that hate subscriptions, the one-time payment is your solution. Also the best value. If you have the means, this is the best value. Normally it was $69.92. With the 25% discount, it brings the cost down to $52.44, and you'll pay that one time and you'll own it forever. One of your options at checkout is going to be PayPal and PayPal later. It reminds me of that the guy on Popeye. He said, "Why pay for the hamburger today when you could pay for it tomorrow?" PayPal Pay Later is interest free if you qualify. And if you have a PayPal account, I think, and your credit isn't terrible, you'll probably qualify. You can pay it over 6 months interest free with that PayPal Pay Later. Sandy asks, thank you, Al. I'll give you a call. Quick question from Sandy. And as I'm reading the question, I'm just going to run through a couple of testimonials of members of ours that are doing extremely well trading these AI bots. Sandy asked, for the iBots, which data services work with it? Is it Kinetic? Yes. Or is it another one better? The best option, Sandy, good question, is Kinetic. Kinetic, if you go to kinetic.com, let me show it to you really quick. Okay, this is it here. Kinetic for kinetic.com, just to give you an idea of what it would cost if you decide to come aboard and with the iBots, is what you're going to pay is $81.11 per month. Okay, $81.11. You don't have to add any exchanges. This $81.11, you're going to get the market internals in real-time quotes. If you have an account with NinjaTrader, they have what they call the CME non-pro fees. This is good if you're trading a live account with Ninja. If you have a prop account, forget it. You don't need it. Your Rhythmic or your Tradeovate is going to provide you with real-time quotes on that CME. So you don't need this. But if you're trading a live account, you can get, and you have an account with NinjaTrader, you would qualify for the CME non-pro fees. It's not mandatory that you do that. It comes out to like $12 a month, and then you get all the futures data, real-time quotes as well. But all you really need, I don't want to complicate things, is this $81 per month subscription. When you go to check out, you wouldn't add any additional exchanges. You just check out at $81 a month. Judy is one of our favorite. She's one of our favorites in the community because she's in retirement and she's living our dream. That lucky woman. She's traveling to all of these beautiful bucket locations, and that I only dream of going. But God willing, one day I'll get there. But I'm sure she works hard and earned it. She's a great woman. But she sends us pictures. This is her on a cruise ship off of the coast of Italy on a Mediterranean cruise on MSC Cruise Lines. She trades with us on YouTube. Got a payout through Apex too. So you can see it here. Just got approved for my first payout from Apex. Thanks, Power Play. Everybody was crushing it on the Power Play. That's a view from her balcony in Dubai. Simon from across the pond. I get a lot of questions from people in all different countries around the world. Can I trade this if I'm in the UK or I'm in Singapore or I'm in Australia? The answer is yes. We have members from all over the world. Simon crushed it, made $16,000 across 7 accounts trading these bots. Limit Up, another one. Steve Cherry, Suzanne, one of my favorite members is Suzanne, because the reason I love Suzanne so much is her willingness to help. I would watch in Discord and people would ask questions, and she'd always be the first one when somebody new came in to give, not only to answer their question, but with amazing accuracy and insight. So she's very knowledgeable. Extremely knowledgeable. And Suzanne does very well with this system as well. She's used a number of different prop firms and she's very familiar with how these work. One of our members, Ron, is a Vietnam vet, made 10 grand trading our gold bot back in April when Trump came out with those tariffs. Gold was going nuts. Last testimonial, I swear, I promise. And then I'm going to give you the real special offer. Gary Sparks is a really humble guy, really great guy. I know him probably 6-7 years now. Gary and I go back. He was being questioned by a gentleman in YouTube, a guy by the name of Mike E. And he asked him what he thought of the RLT bots, because, people want to know before they buy it. Hey, is this worth buying, right? That's why these testimonials do have value. When I buy something on Amazon, I always read the testimonials. But what Gary told this gentleman was really, in my mind, the important information. Gary told him from firsthand experience that he's bought bots from other vendors, and he names them, he rattles them all off. But he tells you that RLT kills it. He's saying that that our bots are superior to all of these other vendors that he's purchased from in the past. And we really appreciate that, Gary. Thank you for those great words. Okay, here's the special offer. What we're going to do, if you come aboard before Friday, we're going to do the 2-for-1. We're going to include our full portfolio of bots. You're going to have the profit engine is what we refer to this as. The AI auto trader and the iBots. When I started out, I showed you my leaderboard. You're going to have a leaderboard that's deep every day, potentially. It's not guaranteed, but most days you will. Running both of these systems, you're going to have some vehicles that could take you to the winner's circle in a hurry. Believe me. The AI auto trader and the iBots are included, 2-for-1, 50% off. Okay. The monthly, instead of $13.98, is going to go to $6.99. Listen, a much better value. Please don't do the monthly. Please don't. Do the annual at least. Okay. It takes a month to get your legs under you. Even though it's an automated system, there is a little bit of a learning curve. And we're going to meet with you several times in that first month and get you up to speed. Don't worry. But we want to work together with you. So do it for at least a year. The year right now is $19.96. You pay it once, and that covers you for the entire year. You're going to get the full Monty, AI Auto, iBots, everything for $19.96. It's a great value. It breaks down to about $180 a month, and you're going to trade it with us every morning on YouTube. And we're going to kick off those weekly training sessions. We're going to start them again. I think it's important. The education is very important. And we're going to do the live training every Wednesday. The best value by far is the one-time payment. It normally is $69.92. With the 50% discount, it's at $34.96. My associate Brock has put the link in the chat box. So you could click on the link. It's important at checkout to use these coupon codes. Please don't forget to use the coupon codes. Let's do one together. Let's do one together. We're going to go to our website. On our website, under Trading Systems, we're going to go to the iBot and the AI Auto Trader. And we're going to click here. And we're going to scroll down. And you can see the website price is at the 25% off. The coupon code that I gave you today is good through Friday, Friday at midnight. So let's just say you did the annual and you click here. You're going to use coupon code SAVE 50%. Up at the top here is click here to enter your code. And I would type in SAVE 50%. and apply it. And it's going to take the price down to $19.96. And you could do the same thing with the lifetime or the monthly. Instead of the 25, substitute the 25 for 50, and you'll get that discounted price through Friday at midnight. You're very welcome, Sandy. Now, I've put in earlier in the chat box an invitation to join me tomorrow. God willing, I'm going to be on YouTube, and we're going to be trading these bots and showing them on a live market. And I want to invite you, because if you haven't seen these bots trade before, you're in for a real treat. You're in for a real treat. So I just want to take a minute. If I don't get to your question, I'm out of time. Please put your name and your number in the chat box. Give me a chance to get a drink of water and catch my breath, and I will give you a call back. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for your time, which is really our most valuable commodity, is time, right? And I want to end with this, with a message of hope. I blew out dozens of accounts, dozens. And I was like that lady in the first slide, ready to smash this, ready to smash a sledgehammer through my monitor into smithereens. I go to bed talking to myself at night. These bots were a game changer in the trajectory of my trading career. I was able to make profits that I've never been able to make prior to using this automation. I believe that you can do it as well. These bots have the potential to provide you with an equity stream, an equity curve, just like you saw the one I showed you of 45,000. So I hope that you take me up on my offer. And again, thank you for your time. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget, make sure you come join live tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. on YouTube. Have a great rest of your day.